Hi, Mike Carvel here with South Yuba Club and Monster Gym. Today we're going to talk about the deadlift, a very functional and beneficial strength training drill that should be part of your routine. So hip extension, which essentially means extending my hips by contracting my glutes, is really the basis of all athletic movement. Whether you're swinging, running, or even bending over to pick up a flower pot, hip extension drives this movement. The energy is transferred from the hips through the core into the arms and legs to express that strength. So the deadlift is a hip extension strengthening drill, and that's why it's so beneficial. That's why you see it so much in collegiate and pro sports, and it's finally making its way into the fitness industry as well. I'm going to give you the condensed version here on the video today. We cover the deadlift in more detail in our fundamentals class, but let me cover some of the key points of this. First, I'm going to position my body over the weight. I'm using a kettlebell today, a Russian kettlebell. I like the kettlebell because a barbell is actually a little bit awkward to work with when you haven't performed this movement. You don't have to fight the bar to perform the deadlift with a kettlebell, so it's really our tool of choice, at least initially, to teach people the deadlift. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice shoulder width stance, and I'm going to position my body over the bell. This allows me to reach down and back and puts me into a very good, strong position to perform the deadlift. I know if I stick the weight out there, the person is going to go and reach for it, they're going to collapse through the back, and they're going to turn this into an upper body lift without a strong core position, and that doesn't do anybody any good. Nothing good would become of that position. So I position myself over the bell. The next thing you'll notice is this is a hip dominant movement. In other words, I bend and drive back and fold at the hips, which pull the knees down into place. That is different than a knee first dominant movement. This is a weak position for the body to be in, hard on the knees and even harder on the lower back once you add weight. So instead of sinking through the knees, we push down and back with the hips, shifting the weight towards the heels. Chest and head stay up so I can maintain a nice flat back. But don't confuse a flat back with a vertical back. If you try to keep your back flat and vertical or perpendicular to the ground, you have no choice but to move through your knees, which is the exact opposite of what you want to do. So you want to push the hips down and back, let the chest fall, but back still stays flat. I got a nice neutral arch. Head stays up because my body will go where my head goes. My head will go where my eyes go. If I look down, I will tend to roll and soften as the back bends. That's a good way to get a herniated disc, and nobody wants that. So chest up, back flat, hips move back, and I reach down and grab the bell. From this position, I tighten my upper body, and I envision pushing my feet through the ground and extending my hips. Sliding the hips back, returning the weight to the ground. The deadlift is not an upper body pull. The movement starts from here and here, not up here. So, head up, back flat, shoulders down. I create a little tension in my core. I squeeze the handle of the bell, and I envision pushing my feet through the ground as I extend the hips forward. Slide the hips back, set the weight down. Now, if somebody doesn't have the mobility to make it all the way down to the ground, we can actually set the kettlebell or weight up on a small box so a person doesn't have to go down as far. But this is an extremely beneficial movement for all athletic activity and for everyday life. We're built to move, we're built to use hip extension. It should be a part of your strength training program as well. Thanks.